Hi, good evening. This is LK. Welcome back to my channel. Tonight we're going to talk about the rise of OPTO and the tragedy that nearly killed it. Almost, but didn't. Well, as you know, OPTO unfortunately started around the early 90s thanks to a corrupt union official named Damaso Seda, who didn't last long as the first Hispanic union president of TW Local 100. He was replaced quickly by Willie James. Other than that, because of him, OPTO was making a steady progress to securing the equipment and getting the rules changed in order to facilitate this thing in 1996. And of course, this is the era, the time Rudolph Giuliani was the mayor of New York. Of course, now he's known as the lawyer of the president of the United States. So, the first 6 months of OPTO, well, they try to say it was working fine, but reality is the first generation OPTO operators picked off the line as soon as possible. They didn't wait for the end of the pick. They had what they call bid sheets, where they pick assignments for people who either retired, died, got demoted, or promoted, and those jobs are open. Allowed them to bid. I happened to bump into one of these motormen. Told me to try to work the OPTO and wasn't working out. So he picked a two-tripper on the far Rockaway line. So, and of course, management was cracking down on anyone who was trying to sabotage the OPTO. So, that's where Eddie Allen came in on the B shuttle. Anyway, one of the things that Willie James did, unfortunately, to make the situation worse, is now the OPTO pay raise went from $1.40 to $2. And all of a sudden now, everybody was beating each other to the punch who could get the train there the fastest. So it was like the Wild Wild West. Reckless operations, violations of all kinds, improper train operation, keys where you're not supposed to be. It's not supposed to be in the conductor position while you're operating the train as a motorman. Speed violations, don't clean out trains, all kinds of wonderful stuff. Someday they might have to go in court and explain. And of course, the management didn't care less. They want this thing to work. So what happens? Everything was fine until July of 1997. And three things happened. Why am I doing this in the dark? Because it's a dark subject. First was an incident involving a group of passengers. I think it was like a party atmosphere, like we hear now. Beach 90th, group of passengers were having a fight aboard the train, and someone tried to break it up. Apparently, one of the troublemakers was not pleased. So later on at the High Mountain Wide projects, the guy who tried to break up the fight was killed by the individual who was involved in the fight. And the authority tried to cover it up and gave false information to both the police and the press. The second incident, not long afterwards, was a priest who was riding another Rock Park shuttle, and he was slashed and robbed on the train. Again, the authority and police gave out the wrong information, saying that this was a train or C train. You know, they were doing everything but saying the actual train. And then the piece of research he saw, so unfortunately, another tragedy took place. This time, a passenger was murdered aboard on the OPTO train and landed on the platform at Beach 90th Street. Unfortunately, according to this union official, cannot say names right now, it seems that the passenger died on the platform, and for whatever reason, the operator took off with all the witnesses on board the train. Miracle that they had police downstairs, otherwise this person would have kept going, would have disappeared, and would never found her. What happened was there was a florist named Edward Johnson, and this lady who had health issues, mental issues, was released by the Manhattan District Attorney days ago for whatever reason. Should have kept her. She was causing another problem. Apparently, she wasn't too comfortable with the florist, Edward Johnson, and took a big knife and stabbed him. He stumbled off the train, fell on the platform, died, and the train took off, leaving him there. So again, the authority tried to lie to say what train this was. They said, "Oh, it was an A train." Well, the story would have ended right there and then, except for one little problem. The car number of the train is still on the records. So what happened? A union official was looking for the car numbers to confirm this was an A train on that. Well, they checked the number to all the cars that were going on the A line that day. None of them matched. So, well, the only thing was left was the Rockaway Park Shuttle. And sure enough, bingo, there was a match. And they made headlines. All of a sudden, the police was getting real bad publicity, and they hadn't recovered until September 11. But New York City Transit came out smelling like a rose, and their OPTO succeeded, wildly succeeded to their expectation as a success, even though a passenger had died because of their negligence. So, you notice in 2016 was the 20th anniversary of OPTO, Operation of New York City Transit, but you notice nobody celebrated. There's a good reason. If you're responsible for a passenger dying on that platform that day, why would you want to celebrate? The worst part was the family couldn't afford to bury the poor guy, so they had help burying him, expenses. This is long before there was a GoMe fund. So, this is horrible. Well, anyway, so this is our campaign so long for now, and don't forget to stop. I hope they pass this legislation, kill this OPTO thing once and for all. Bye.